You can only end cycles through love and forgiveness, not through hatred and rejection and fear. If you fear your own beliefs, there is a belief that suggests your own beliefs could somehow impose something upon you you don't desire. That's not true. Higher self disagrees with it. The vibration of your personal vibration or assumption or belief is out of alignment with your higher self's vision. Any responsibility that's truly your responsibility will feel joyous and light. Any responsibility that's not meant for you to pick up from this brain self point of view feels heavy. So there's your guidance mechanism. That magic is all that creates reality, not rational thinking. Every time we close down into our rational mind, we close down the ways in which magic, it's still magic, creates our reality.
With the assertion of my will to stay happy and be happy,
Yes.
regardless of what is,
Yes. Thank you.
will there not be a shitstorm
There might be.
of the unconscious unfurling and testing my conviction of that happiness?
Yeah, probably. When we are excited, we're actually adding to a creation on a global scale that is excited. This is a law of the universe. If you're not happy, you're not helping. So check in. Doesn't matter how many kids you feed in Africa. Doesn't matter if you fed 10,000 kids. If you were unhappy all the time doing it, you were a destructive force. You did not help one bit except in the negative direction. If you fed 10,000 kids in Africa single-handedly, but you felt bad and projected that they were suffering with every single moment, not seeing the goodness in life, you have not helped one bit. In fact, the second half of those 10,000 kids, the latter 5,000, have been your creation. They would not be starving if you were not unhappy with the first 5,000 kids you were feeding. This is how creation works. Is love, but not just love, perhaps as we know it, but love because there is only one being, and it wants to know itself. That is what love is. The one infinite being wants to know itself. That's what love is. Love is self-love. Love is its own love for itself, for its potential, for its infinity, wanting to be made manifest. The sandbox within which you seem to be playing is already placed there by you at this very second. It's not actually there. You're not walking around in something that already exists. The entirety of the universe is walking around in you. But only because you choose for that to be the case. Why? Because you are a god. Literally. Because you have remembered that circumstances are just mirrors, smoke and mirrors. They are not real. They are not meant to dictate reality. They are not meant to dictate these divine gods and goddesses that are all meant to co-create from a place of freedom, from a place. The question is, what's the difference between thoughts and affirmations? Affirmations is just a particular application of a thought. Right? It's just out of a context used. Thoughts are everywhere. Thoughts are all the time. You choose thoughts all the time. But when you consciously pick them and choose them, or when it's expressed from an angle of personal development or wanting to lose weight or whatever, then they call it affirmations. But it's simply picking a thought. What's important though is that the thought actually feels good. Because if the thought is, looking in a mirror and saying how slim you are when you're seeing a fat ass that you don't enjoy, then what you generate is more of that energy of a fat ass you don't enjoy, while you're on a verbal level, then thoughts and affirmations become just thoughts. Then they become irrelevant. Then they become powerless. Consciousness is like a sphere. Every I am consciousness, every one of you is like your own sphere of consciousness with this 360 movie screen, and you're constantly projecting onto the inside of that bubble. That may look like a street that goes all the way to Tokyo, and that's out there, So real. Everyone can walk it. Other beings are walking on it. They're coming from Tokyo all the way to over here. So there must be some truth to Tokyo. Yes, but onto your own screen only. Out of your own energy generated only. There is no Tokyo apart from your own energy field generated onto the screen of your 3-dimensional, 4th-dimensional, 5th-dimensional, depending on your state of being, state of consciousness. So all you ever experience is what you project inside of your consciousness. When you refer to an external world, what happens is that you use your inner world, which is all that ever existed. You're using the conscious field of consciousness to generate the illusion, the sensation, which is inside, of an outside world. But you've never actually, if you're honest with yourself, experienced the outside world. You've only experienced your inner sensations of you referencing something that does not exist outside yourself.